What is good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another special edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. On today's edition, we'll be talking about the defensive domination of the New York Giants upon the Washington Commanders, as well as previewing the Cowboys week 8. Is it week 8 already, Caleb?
Yes, week 8.
Yeah, it's their week 8 game against the Los Angeles Rams. Because if you guys
Rams.
hadn't noticed, yeah, the Rams, yeah. If you guys haven't noticed, the Cowboys are on their bye week this week, so there isn't really much to talk about Cowboys wise. So let's get right into the New York Giants game. It's probably gonna be a very quick episode because the New York Giants game, it was very clearly a defensive battle. It was all about the defense, the defensive line, the
Was it defensive
linebackers.
battle or was it the offensive sucking ass
The Giants offense was moving the ball pretty good, but then
for
they
one
had
quarter?
to pull.
For one quarter.
Yeah, 1 quarter. Hey, yeah, it was just the second quarter. You're right, correct. Yeah, well, the Giants, their offensive line is still a mess. Chase Young was eating. Yeah, no offense to Justin Pugh. Justin Pugh is definitely a guard. He can no longer play tackle. Justin Pugh did not fix the offensive line. The people who think that he has fixed the offensive line, there's no stabilization. He was not very good against Chase Young. Chase Young, I believe, let me look at the stats, he had 2 sacks, 3 tackles. Chase Young was, kind of be like ragdolling Justin Pugh. This is after this is injury plagued Chase Young too. So Justin Pugh's not really been playing very good at left tackle. It's a sheen, a veneer, a mirage of semblance of stability on the offensive line, but there is no stability on the offensive line. He's not good at tackle. This offensive line's not good. Our best guard is playing center, and our best guard, no one in Baltimore wanted him. So we are still not, it just seemed like everything was working. Everything seemed, Shout to the Rogue Pod. How you doing? How you doing, Tony?
What's going on?
It's the offensive line's still not good at all. Not whatsoever. Tyrod Taylor, he's been playing fine. Nothing to write home about. Like just the difference between him and Daniel Jones is that he's willing to take deep
Yeah,
shots.
he's playing a lot better than him.
Yeah, because he's a veteran. He knows how to manipulate the pocket. He's getting pressured the same amount as Daniel Jones. I believe it's
Not
34%.
holding on to the ball all day so he can get sacked.
Exactly. Quick decisions. Because he knows the offensive line isn't good. We all know the offensive line is not good. They're not good. They're not. The best offensive lineman in the NFL is a decisive quarterback. And that's what Tyrod Taylor is compared to Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor, one of his biggest knocks was he holds the ball on too long, and he could take sacks. But compared to Daniel Jones, he's Dan Marino, But they're both not playing, the offensive line is not good. Tyrod Taylor's playing slightly better than Daniel Jones. They're still my quarterback, so I don't really care for that debate because the problem is Daniel Jones. I was watching an old video of Daniel Jones, his very first ever game he played in the NFL was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he was taking deep shots. He was being decisive. He was running. He was playing off of instinct. I don't know what happened between that year and the 2 years with Joe Judge. They completely ruined that. They completely ruined him. The NFL quarterbacks and the NFL coaches and the NFL system, they ruin more quarterbacks than they make good. It's just the way it is. Daniel Jones, something happened in the development with Jason Garrett, with Joe Judge that ruined him like forever. I think he's gun shy. He doesn't process quickly enough anymore because he is freezing. He's frozen. He gets thrown into a situation where people forget he had a scary injury against the Cowboys 2 years ago, where he got a concussion. It looked like he broke his neck. So he's, like psychologically, it ain't the same. When he was a rookie, it was gung ho. We're against the Bucks. He was throwing deep shots to Darius Slayton. He was throwing deep shots to Sterling Shepard. He threw a deep crosser to Evan Ingram, and Evan Ingram took it like 70 yards to the goal line. Like Daniel Jones isn't that player anymore because the development it just wasn't right. And the defense is showing up. They're finally showing up. Say, Kayvon Thibodeau. There was a big incident, I think 2 days ago, between Carl Banks, New York Giants legend Carl Banks, who was Lawrence Taylor's running mate on the other side of the ball, and WFAN's Brandon Tierney and Evan Washburn. They think he's a bust. They think he's not playing good. He's not very good. He's a bust. Carl Banks is saying, like, you don't know what they're telling him to do. You don't know. You don't know what his job is. You don't know that at all. Last year, he had 4.5 sacks in, I believe, 13 games, 4.5 sacks. Through 8 games this year, he has 5.5 sacks.
Yep.
So he has beaten his sack total. He's improving. He is developing. He's on track to being the first the first edge rusher to ever, Caleb, let me repeat this to you, ever to have double-digit sacks in a Wink Martindale defense. He has never got that ever and ever from his edge rushers. They don't get sacks in this scheme. Let me tell you, I keep telling people about Matthew Judon. Matthew Judon in Baltimore. Pretty good defensive end. Phenomenal edge. People loved him in Judon, but he was getting 5.5 sacks. He's getting 4.5 sacks. He's getting 5 sacks. He leaves. He goes to New England. Caleb, you know how many sacks he had his first year in New England?
I know it's a lot.
12. He gets 12 sacks. First year in New England, he has 12 sacks. Second year in New England, 16. This scheme is not conducive to getting sack totals because defensive linemen, it's all about creating chaos on the offensive line. It's about, freeing up blitzers on one side, freeing up a gap for Jason Pinnock, a safety, a random corner named Zion Gilbert. Shout out to you, Zion. You're not random. I know you. Like, it's about them. They get the sacks. They're getting the sacks. The defensive linemen don't really get sacks. Kayvon Thibodeau also has the linebacker designation when we throw out our scheme out there because he also plays linebacker. He falls back into coverage. He guards tight ends, running backs coming out to the flat. He also plays a lot of coverage. A lot. They don't just say rush the passer. That's not how it is. And Evan Washburn and Brandon Tierney, they cut Carl Banks off, Caleb. They cut him off and say, I've had enough of this, whatever. Caleb, imagine if Nate Newton called into a Dallas radio news show to talk about your guards, right? And say, hey, man, y'all don't know what they're being told what to do. Y'all can't really criticize your guards like that. You need to chill out and understand the concepts. And then the Dallas anchor say, you know what, Nate, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of hearing you. Shh. Hang up on Nate Newton. Imagine that, Caleb. Imagine some Dallas morning news people hung up on Darren Woodson.
Well, I mean, they're much nicer people in Dallas, so they probably wouldn't do that than in New York.
No, but I'm saying, imagine that, Caleb. How would who the hell do you think you are? Brandon Tierney and Evan Washburn or whoever that second dude is. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Dude, you're a radio shock jock. You sit up there and you just and you spew BS on the radio. Who the hell do you think you are cutting off Carl Banks? And then, Caleb, the funny thing about that, Caleb, is they end up, after he leaves, they say, I fully don't understand the concepts of football and their defense. They admit to not understanding what they're watching. They admit to not understanding. And Carl Banks is trying to teach you how to look at the game, and you cut him off. No, you don't cut him off. You hang up on him. What? Why would, I don't understand. Why do you think, bro, You can't hire someone to go through all 22 with you. Understand stunt concept, understand pass rush lanes, understand coverage. The defense is shaping up. The defense is shaping up, guys, and it's playing very well. We need a second. We need a second pass rusher. We need a second pass rusher. Aziz Ojulari is always hurt. No, not always hurt. He's been getting hurt a lot, and he hasn't been in the lineup. We need a second pass rusher with Kayvon Thibodeau because they can just keep shifting protection to him and Dexter and shut them down. Because Dexter's a defensive tackle, nose tackle. They don't really get stats, so they get kind of washed in with the guards. You need another pass rusher on the other side. And if you add the extra pass rusher, you can fully flourish what Kayvon Thibodeau is, man, because he still got that turning power, that speed into power. He's been pretty tremendous. I like it. He does what they tell him to do. He follows the game plan. He doesn't complain. They say, "Hey man, I need you to go coverage." He doesn't complain. He does it. He's a team player, you know, and I thoroughly enjoy watching him play because I'm seeing growth. We're seeing growth. Growth is there. We're seeing it. And then don't even get me started on those two linebackers, man. Those two bad man pajamas. Oh my God, that's back-to-back weeks. It's back-to-back weeks. I believe it's been 3. Is it 3 weeks? No. Back-to-back weeks of them playing phenomenally. Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden. They played great against Buffalo. They played phenomenal against Washington. I believe Washington only had 76 rushing yards. 76 rushing yards. And we all know, man, people talk about like, oh, Washington got a great run offense. They have great run blockers. They know how to run the ball.
They only ran it 19 times, though. So they didn't run it. Yeah. They didn't run it too many times. They threw 42 times, which is that. I just don't. I think that's questionable on the Washington's offensive coaches, whoever was calling it, because why would you sit there and let Sam Howell get sacked 6 times when he's sitting there behind a bad offensive line? You're just not setting up for success there. You got to run the ball more. I think that's why the Giants got a lot of domination. I just don't think they put Sam Howell in good situations. You already seen this dude holds on the ball way too long. Why do you keep sending him back and passing the ball and put him in the situations? Run the ball more. And I just think it was a bad called, poorly called game on Washington's side.
Bad game plan. Not much, man. I think it was a bad game plan on their part. They needed to run the ball more. They didn't want to do it. They have like 3-4 running backs that they can use. Like they have depth at the running back position. Chris Rodriguez Jr., Brian Robinson Jr., Antonio Gibson. They can run the ball, but they chose not to, and it benefited us because we feasted on that offensive line, man. 6 sacks, tremendous all around defensive play by the New York Giants. Let me see. The people who got the sacks were Jason Pinnock, 2 sacks by Dexter Lawrence, 1 sack by Leonard Williams, half a sack by Micah McFadden, and 1.5 sacks by Kayvon Thibodeau. 1.5 sacks by Kayvon Thibodeau is phenomenal, man. And Dexter Lawrence, man. Dexter Lawrence is the key to everything. When he goes, the defensive line goes. He creates chaos. He collapses offensive lines. You have to account for him. He is tremendous on the point of attack. And then on the offensive side, there's not really much to talk about the offensive side, but there is one key. Darren Waller.
I think that's
Waller, man. Waller showed out. We got him the ball early. We fed him. He had 7 catches, 98 yards, and a touchdown. He took advantage of, I believe, their weaker linebacking core. Caleb, we may have to redo our rankings, like when we rank the position groups of the NFC East. We may have to change it about. I think the linebacking core of the New York Giants, man, they're creeping up to 1. They're creeping up.
Yeah.
But in the Washington's defense is kind of creeping downward. And no offense, the Washington's wide receivers kind of going down. They're going down. Yeah, man.
Great over here too. I was just thinking about Cal. We're kind of going down too.
Yeah. And you know what? We made fun of the Eagles, but those 2 are better than a lot of people's 3s. You know what I mean? So the Eagles may We after the season we'll judge him on the season. But yeah, man, it was Deonte Banks got his first pick. He peeled off, so he was playing good coverage, and then I believe Sam Howell kind of like threw a duck. It was a duck. It was too much air on it, and Deonte Banks sniffed it out, got his first pick. It was a good, tremendous game by him. But then the key is here, Caleb, man. Jalen Hyatt, man. 2 catches, 75 yards. 2 catches, 75 yards. You see the weapon. You got to throw him the ball, man. That's the one thing with Daniel Jones he didn't do. He did not throw him the ball. You know, the key was like, is nobody open? Like the key was when Daniel was taking all these sacks, it was, is nobody open? Yes, people were open. He just didn't throw the ball. Tyrod Taylor has made it very clear that he's going to throw it. You know, Wan'Dale Robinson did take a step back this game. You know, the past couple weeks, he's been showing up for Tyrod and Daniel Jones. He's been the key cog in this case. But, you know, overall, man.
You know, Jay says you use Hyatt more. Well, for them, it is hard because for him to get downfield, that takes a little bit of time, which the Giants just do not have any time to throw the ball.
They don't.
So it wouldn't be hard if they could actually hold somebody, you know. But they don't have the time to get that downfield pass. Now, I'm not saying hold, but like hold up the defensive line from getting to the quarterback.
Absolutely, man. Because that's the thing, man. Because with Jalen Hyatt, he's running, developing routes. Like it's not like a quick slant. It's not a quick like a zig or a curl. You know, it's not. He's doing long posts. He's the blow it off the top burner. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna blow it off the top. He is Deshaun Jackson. People forget, man. Deshaun Jackson was, you want 70, you throw me the ball. Jeremy Maclin was, you want 10, 15, throw me the ball. You know what I mean? That's Jason Avant. You want 5, 10, you throw me the ball. So Deshaun, he is going to be like Deshaun Jackson. I hate Deshaun Jackson. He's a part of my worst memory ever of a New York Giant. Still scars me to this day. Why did you have to punt him? You know? No, Jay, you're right.
Yeah, but even a post route, fly route, all those routes still take time to develop.
Man. And here's the
straight. But even any long, deep route still takes time, and they just don't have that. They need to get rid of the ball. They need to get it to receiving threat and Darren Waller, which they did, and that's how they can be successful. Otherwise, they're gonna sit there and get sacked all day.
Yeah, that's why Wan'Dale Robinson was playing very well the past couple weeks. He had very quick routes. So bang, bang, open, bang, bang, open, bang, cross, and bang, corner, bang, in, bang, out, option route, in, out. You know what I mean? Like that. With Jalen Hyatt, they kind of tell him like, hey, man, you're going to be running the deep routes. You know, you kind of like fill in the gaps, you know. And you know what? I'm seeing growth with him, Kayvon Thibodeau, getting Darren Waller a bit more involved. It's the offensive line, man. The offensive line is the key. Justin Pugh is a guard. He can't play tackle. He's a guard. He said he was a guard. We said he was a guard. The only reason he's playing tackle is that Joshua Zudu is not playing left tackle. So that's the problem. So we need to find we need to find offensive line pieces. In next year's draft, man, I want you to draft every offensive lineman known to man. You know, draft every offensive lineman. Do a drag and watch him take it to the house. Have they tried that? I haven't seen it. Probably. You just gotta find him. They don't use him in the slot. Drag routes are usually better when you're in the slot. He's usually the outside wide receiver. They do a lot of subbing with him, Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, here and there, Wan'Dale Robinson. So like there's a lot of cycling in, cycling out. You know, they have people for that. But yeah, I'm with you on that, Jay. Yeah, guys, man, make sure to smash that like button. Thank you for Davon. But also, guys, Davon, thank you for reminding me. Also, everyone, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We're at 115 subscribers. We're trying to get to 200. We're 85 away. So everyone, make sure to hit that subscribe button, share the channel, hit that notification bell. All our lives, all our pre-recorded stuff, you will get that notification, man. So make sure to do that as well. But now, enough of me yelling about the New York Giants and their, ineptitude on the offensive line and their growth, and the idiots that operate at WFAN. The Cowboys won the bye week. Nothing bad happened. Yeah. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you want out of bye week. Nothing bad happened. Unlike us last year, where week for us. Yeah, unlike last year where we lost our starting safety because he decided to break his hand from during a trip to Mexico. But Caleb, out of the bye week, as you all are rested, rejuvenated, y'all are going against the Los Angeles Rams. What do you think y'all took out of the bye week to go against the Rams coming up this week?
Just resting guys. I think that's the biggest part about bye weeks. You get guys rested up, ready to go. And I think it came out at a perfect time because a lot of guys were getting injured. I think that definitely helped us going into this game. Still have injuries, problems coming up, even with that. Just coming up on what was like Thursday, that Tyron Smith again. Typical Tyron, have another injury problem pop up. He might not play in this game. It just sucks because we had continuity. We had the five starting guys that we hadn't had in really years. Finally get all together for the last couple of weeks, and now it's going to be maybe in flux once again. See, this is why you're a hater. You're just a complete hater, Hendo. Like, my God. Always hating, always bringing the hate, but no, there's no Trey Lance era. He has to beat out Cooper Rush before he even gets even a shot, which he's not going to do. Yeah. So going to this game, just going around what happened around the league, it definitely helps us out with the Niners going down 2 times in a row. Philly has 1 loss. And so we got to keep, and the Lions lost too. The Lions also lost. So that all those things help us out. Keep right there in the NFC race. That I think that's the biggest thing that happened in the bye week. Those Niners and the Lions losing. So I like, so we have to win this game. We got to win this game. We got to, especially because it's an NFC team, common opponent, tiebreaker, all that. How it's going to play out in the end come playoff time. So we need this. We need this to get the win against the Rams. We're playing at home. So it's a good plus for us. We're a really good home team. In the past recent couple of years, we have had a really good home record. So that definitely is in our advantage. The one problem we're going to have is obviously their receiving threats. Obviously, we have the Trayvon Diggs injury. They got Cooper Kupp, they got Puka Nacua, and that's going to be a problem. We've seen, we've seen he's just a catching machine. I mean, oh my God, it's going to be tough to go against them. Because sometimes our guys get beat. Sometimes Stephon Gilmore gets loses a step a little bit. Deron Bland plays a little aggressively. He gets beat sometimes. So it's definitely going to be a tough task to go against these guys. But I think we'll create enough pressure. And we get it after Stafford. I mean, he's not too mobile of a guy. So I definitely think we can get after a quarterback like that and actually sack him instead of just getting the pressure, which I definitely think we need to do. I think we need to actually get him to the ground in this game. He's a guy that's going to give you one. He's had interception problems in his career. And what we do best is take away the ball. And that's what we're going to have to do here. And I definitely think we can do that. And that'll give us definitely advantage on our defense to go with. On offense, like you said, I just talked about the offensive line going against Aaron Donald. Tyler Biotish is kind of light. That's tough against a strong guy like Aaron Donald. May not have Tyron Smith. We'll see about that. So I think that's a definitely concern there. Getting pressure in Dak's face. But the way I think Dak's been getting rid of the ball quickly enough. He was making great decisions and creating time. So I don't think it'd be, especially in that Chargers game, you saw how well he was able to create time even when he was getting pressured and make good decisions, whether he was going to take off, run it, or find the receiver and throw him open. So I'm not terribly concerned about that because I think Dak will continue to do that. It's just, are these guys going to get open? I mean, that's just been the question we've been asking. Are we playing Brandon Cooks or right? Are we utilizing them correctly? Or are we running the right routes with them? It's just they don't seem to be getting open. Tight ends need to show up. So as long as these guys can somehow get some kind of space between the defender, I think we'd be good. But otherwise, it's gonna be kind of rough for us. On that, as long as we just need to do what we do, run the ball with Tony Pollard. I think we'll be straight. I don't think the Rams going to be too much of a problem as long as they're not looking ahead to that Philadelphia game, because obviously that's a monster game for us. That's good. That's the big one. As long as we're not looking ahead, we're taking them like we did against the Cardinals and just get upset because we're looking ahead. As long as we don't fall into that trap, I think we'll be good, and we got this one.
All right, thank you, Caleb. Oh, thank you. No, you good. Thank you, man. Thank you. But now, before we talk about the New York Giants game against the New York Jets, let's talk about a little trade deadline, man. The trade deadline is next week on Tuesday, the 31st, and trades have already started seeping in. A couple days ago, Philly did it again, Caleb. They did it again.
Yeah.
They did it again. And I am livid, bro. I am livid. So you're telling me that Tennessee, the best deal Tennessee got was a 5th, a 6th, and Terrell Edmonds for an all-pro safety that's still good at his job. You telling me nobody had a better deal than that? You seriously telling me nobody had a better deal than that? Hey, man, I don't know
who was looking, so I wouldn't be able to say whether or not whoever was offering them anything. But obviously the Eagles had the deficiency in their secondary. I think that was the weakest part of their defense, and that's why they had to go out and make this trade to shore up that.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely safety. They lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the offseason. They didn't want to re-sign him, so they went after Kevin Byard. And all I'll say is this, man, I swear to mother of... If Howie Roseman calls you, don't pick up. Don't pick up. Don't return it. Don't call. Don't pick up. Don't talk to him. Ignore him. This man has dirt on everybody in the NFL because he can't keep getting away with this. He can't keep getting away with this. Like, I'm sorry, like he can't keep getting away with it. No, yes, he can't keep getting away with this, Caleb. He can't. He keeps getting like oh my God. Like, how? How does he keep doing it? How do everyone just let Jalen Carter fall to 11? How do you let him sign Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph? How do you let him get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson? How? How do you? Philly has robbed Tennessee twice. First for A.J. Brown and now for Kevin Byard. How? How do you? John Robinson, the previous GM of Tennessee, he got spanked by Howie Roseman. Spanked. And now this other GM, Tennessee, they hired him from, San Francisco. I don't know what his name is. I don't care because he just got spanked again. You're not going to tell me that no one had a better deal than a 5th and a 6th in Terrell Edmonds. You're not going to tell me no one had a better deal for Kevin Byard? You couldn't give him a fourth. Couldn't give him a fourth and a fifth. You couldn't do that. Really? You couldn't do that. And by the way, Tony, Saquon Barkley not going anywhere. So you can keep your.
Are you sure about that?
No, he is, because they literally told him you're not going anywhere, to his face.
Well, I mean, they can tell him that. That doesn't mean they're going to say other stuff behind closed doors and is making deals.
Well,
they can say whatever they want.
Well, they also said it publicly. So
again, they can say whatever they want publicly or to him, and then do whatever they want.
You have a valid point. You have a valid point, but all I'll say is this: if you do all that stuff publicly and you then trade him, you are, man, you lose good. You lose grace. You lose good grace, in the public side. But who do you think is this big name in the trade deadline, Caleb, that's gonna change the team? Because last year T.J. Hawkinson got traded to Minnesota, kind of changed their team because he gave him a secondary weapon behind Jordan Addison, behind Justin Jefferson. Do you think any big names going to move on the trade deadline?
I mean, if the Titans are open for business still, I mean, Derrick Henry to the Cowboys sounds pretty nice. We've been needing it. We've been needing the back like Ezekiel Elliott was for us. I said it before. I said it last year when everybody was criticizing Ezekiel Elliott for, he has a bad yards per carry. He's not doing much for him. Look how great Tony Pollard is doing on these outside runs. But guess what? How Tony Pollard is doing when he has everything by himself? Guess what? The yards per average go down. And they've gone down all season because we can't run the ball as effectively when we don't have a guy that can just pound it, and while Tony Pollard can stay fresh and then go out and make explosive runs. Because you even saw it when he got the catch in the last game when he had to make the big 60-yarder. He could have taken that to the house last year, but guess what? He's not. He's doing everything this year. He's doing pass blocking, which he didn't do as much last year. Zeke was valuable for us, and we need a guy that can take that punishment, that we don't need Pollard to be taken, so he can make the explosive plays and he can take it to the house like we had last year. That's the biggest difference in the run game. So if we can get a guy like that, whoever other running back is on the market, that's what I'm looking to try to get. They're also talking about receiver, but okay, we say we bring in a receiver. Who the hell says we're going to utilize them? Because obviously we can't utilize Brandon Cooks very well. So who says we're going to bring in a receiver and utilize that guy well? I mean, there's no telling that we can do. We haven't shown that we can do that. So I wouldn't really do that because I mean, are we going to get them the ball? Are we going to give them the right routes? So I just don't think that's what we should do. I just think we just need that other back to go along with Pollard, so he doesn't take all that punishment he's been taking.
I'll say this, man. Brandon Cooks. This is the first team I've ever seen Brandon Cooks play on that he looks like shit. This man played on Houston, a bad Houston team, and got 1,000 yards. You telling me he can't get 1,000 yards? See, something's wrong with the Cowboys offensively, man. Something's fundamentally broken because, either I'm gonna say it, either whoever's calling the plays sucks, the quarterback sucks, or the weapons suck. One of them has to not be good, because how do you have CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks? That's a good 1-2 punch. And they look like jobbers. Courtland Sutton, Caleb, of the Denver Broncos is in a horrible situation, and he occasionally gets 100 yards a game. Something's fundamentally wrong with that offense in Dallas, where
I just don't know if he fits the right scheme. Like I've been saying, he's a deep ball guy. He has a lot of speed on him, and we're running, kind of like all types of shorter routes. It's just not his game, and we're asking both Brandon Cooks and Michael Gallup. They're both kind of the same guy. Michael Gallup's a little bit, he makes the tough 50-50 catches. Brandon Cooks more downfield, but they're both downfield route runners. They're both downfield route runners, and they just don't get separation when they're running these shorter routes, and it just doesn't seem like the scheme is really fitting with what they both can do, and that's been kind of the problem here, and why they're not getting open. CD's getting his. I mean, he's always gonna catch these great balls, and he's a yards after catch, so I guess it does fit him. With the other two, it just doesn't seem like it's working for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. On the trade deadline wise for the New York Giants, there's nothing a lot to trade for, and there's not a lot to trade out because the only valuable asset we have is Saquon.
There's plenty to trade out. There's plenty to trade out.
Caleb, it's one thing to trade players. It's one thing to trade players people want. It's a difference. The only thing people want and that we may trade, but I don't think they do it, but we may, is Saquon Barkley. Everyone wants him. We may trade him, may not. I don't think we will, but if they do trade him, it's going to be him. He's the only thing worth the value. I'm sorry, like you can't just call up somebody like, "Hey, do you want Darius Slayton?" And I'll be like, "No." Clink. They're not getting rid of Dexter. They signed him to a long-term contract. He's definitely staying, so he's not going. Saquon Barkley being on the franchise tag and not really having a deal, so he's probably a trade candidate. Like y'all said earlier, I don't think they do it, but he is a trade candidate. That's the only thing worth of value. Hey, who here wants Jason Pinnock? Oh, hey, who wants Isaiah Hodgins? Like, no, like wanting to trade someone and someone wanting to get him is two different things. And I think the only person that's going to be traded, if they are traded, is Saquon Barkley. But I don't think they do it. But he's the only trade asset. That's the only one. But now we've talked about this week's Cowboys matchup with the Rams. Let's talk about this week's New York Giants matchup against the New York Jets. It is the Battle of New York. It is Big Brother versus Little Brother. We all know who Little Brother is. Gangrene. Remember who
Giants?
You are. No, shut up, Caleb. All right, stop talking. All right, okay. We are just saying stupid stuff, Caleb. Is that what we're doing? Just saying stupid stuff?
I mean, I don't know how stupid it is. I mean, Giants are very good.
Well, that doesn't mean
have a better record.
So, Big Brother, Little Brother is a historical context, you dumbass. Idiot.
Okay.
All right. Use your brain. All right. Gosh.
Just saying.
I'm
just saying Zach Wilson has a better record than the New York Giants. So that's all I'm saying. He has more wins than the New York Giants do.
You're right. He has 3 wins.
Yeah.
We have 2. So, whatever. All right. Whatever. But now let's get right into it. This is going to be a defensive slugfest. The defenses will show up. They will hit each other in the mouth. It's the team that wins is that which offense does not commit the catastrophic turnover. Which one is not going to do it? A lot of people think the Giants are going to win this because they do not trust Zach Wilson at all. They don't trust him whatsoever.
Who's many people? Where are these many people that think the Giants are going to win this game? Who are those people?
I heard Colin Cowherd said the Giants are going to win.
He also said they weren't going to regress, and look what happened.
Well, he also actually took the points. He said he takes the Giants +3, 24-21. I don't trust Zach Wilson whatsoever. So I'm like, I think that's a little too high for the point total. I think it's like, 17-14 or something like that, or something, It's gonna be old school, man. Like the running game, not the Giants and the Jets are built the same. Shitty offensive line, question mark at quarterback, definite star at running back, solid defense. They're literally the same team. It's the same team. And the key is The quarterback who doesn't make
I
the
think the Jets have a
catastrophic
better
mistake.
defense. The Jets definitely have a better defense than the Giants.
They okay. You know what? You're right. They do. You know what? I'm gonna go with you. They do. They do. They're deep on the defensive line. Their rotation is otherworldly. Otherworldly. It's insane. They got linebacking wise. I like Quincy Williams. He's pretty good. But I like Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden just slightly better. They also have C.J. Mosley. He's pretty good. But I think the linebacking core we're a little we're neck and neck. Cornerback, the issue is they have Sauce Gardner. We have Adoree Jackson. He may not even play. Adoree Jackson is another trade deadline candidate, possibly. So there's that. But it's a battle in New York. I love the Ravens fans talking in the chat. Davon says Ravens JV teams. Facts, Davon. Hey Caleb, you want me to give you a stat, Caleb? You want me to tell you a stat? So
yeah,
Lamar Jackson, right? Great quarterback. Great quarterback. Great quarterback. He is 16-1 against NFC teams. He's 16-1 against NFC teams.
And the one team was the Giants.
And the one team that whooped his ass was the Giants. It's not. We didn't whoop his ass. That's a strong word. You know how we beat him? We beat him by making him commit a horrible mistake. He threw a horrible interception. Then we forced the fumble on him by a strip sack, and we beat him after he was up. After he was up on us. So he was actually leading the game, and then he crumbled. He crumbled against the Giants last year. So shout out to the Ravens fans. That's a great record. 16-1 against NFC teams. Phenomenal record. But remember who that one loss is to. Remember that. Big Blue. G-Men. Remember that, son. Huh? You remember that. All right. So we'll continue on. I think we have a key to victory. If we play tight, concise football, we don't commit. Turnovers are key. I don't think we're gonna. I'll say this, man. I'm scared of them, bro. I think their defensive line rotation is insane because we do not have a good offensive line whatsoever. Like I said earlier, but they rotate 8-9 deep, 10, I think. Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, Nate Shepard, Solomon Thomas. It's pretty deadly, and on the offensive side. Their offensive side is
the Jets have beaten y'all for the last 3 times.
We're 0-3.
Wait. MetLife, apparently.
Tell me. Is that regular season or is that preseason?
No, regular season. 3 in a row at MetLife.
Well, it's their home stadium too, so it's basically like a home game. Wow, we're 0-3 in the last. Wow, I didn't know that. I did not know this. Damn, we need to break that streak.
Oh no, 2 in a row. 2 in a row. They're going for 3 in a row. Okay, I read that wrong.
Okay. Yeah, man.
They won the last 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Their defensive line is nasty, and the problem is on their offensive side is they have 2 stars. They got 17 on. They have 17 out wide. Deonte Banks. That's going to be his job. Is to follow 17 and 20 in the backfield. So it's basically the Washington Commanders, Caleb. It's the Washington Commanders. They had a solid running back in the backfield, Brian Robinson Jr. No.
Again, their defense is way better than the Commanders' defense.
That's true. That's the key. We just don't have to do anything catastrophic. Don't do nothing catastrophic. Also, too, special teams is key. We cannot give them short field.
Oh yeah, you guys suck at special teams because that's the only touchdown that the Commanders got because you guys fumbled and gave them a short field.
A muffed punt by Sterling Shepard. It was just bad. We need to make sure we don't commit those horrible turnovers. Okay. Let's go to predictions, Caleb. Cowboys, Rams. What's the prediction?
I'm saying 31-21. We're 6-point favorite. I think we can beat them by 10. Like I said, as long as we can contain, their receiving core, they're going to get theirs. That's why I said they're going to score 3 touchdowns. So, but I don't think it's going to be enough to keep up with what we're going to do. Their defense, because I don't think nothing on their defense really scares me except Aaron Donald. As long as we can play well against him, nothing else really bothers me. I think we can take advantage of them and put a point to move the ball on them. As long as we don't have those red zone problems and we actually can put it in the end zone, I think we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what? I agree. Coming off of a bye week, you're rejuvenated. Yeah, I'm gonna go up, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go 34-24. I'm gonna go with that. A little bit more high scoring.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now the New York Giants, definitely low scoring. I don't think either team breaks 20. Either team breaks 20. Definitely Davon. Whereas Davon, the kickers will make their money in the Battle of New York. That's true. I trust our kicker more than I don't even know who their kicker is. I don't really care, to be honest.
I don't know either.
I think we score at least a touchdown. I think it's I think 16-10 Giants.
All right. I'm going to go 19-12 Jets.
You know what? That's also a good score as well. Davon goes 17-13. Jets turnovers decide the game. That's true, man. If we turn over the ball, last week we had the one muff punt, gave them points, but our offense didn't turn over the ball. Our offense was very. That's the one problem with Daniel Jones in the early parts. We should have beaten Seattle on that Monday Night Football. He turned over the ball too much. He threw that horrible interception that was returned for a touchdown. But Tyrod Taylor does not commit those horrible turnovers. I haven't seen it. So, yeah, let's go 16. You know what? 16-14 Giants. A field goal. We win because of a late second Graham Gano field goal. I'm going to go with that. All right. On that note, everyone, thank you guys so much for joining us this week for Good Friends, Better Rivals. I hope to God I'm happy next week, but I'm not counting on it because
I'm just ready to just watch Cowboys football again. I mean, the bye week's still just so long, man. I just come on, just waiting forever.
And it was quiet. And it was quiet too. Y'all usually do something crazy in the bye week that really like shakes everything up, you know. Usually some bullshit like your quarterback went to Mexico with his girlfriend, and then everyone blames his girlfriend because he plays bad, even though he's just a bad player.
But the one thing good about early bye, it's just football, every single week from here on out, and we don't have to worry about that no more. So let's get football every week.
Yeah, I think our bye week's week 14 or 13, something like that. But without further ado, Caleb, where can people find you?
You can find me at NFLCaleb22 on Instagram and Twitter/X. You can find me on this channel every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock doing betting the NFL, winning you guys money. That is the goal of the show, and that's what we do well. So if you guys can tune in that, all we're going to do is try to win you guys money. So hopefully you guys tune in for that. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right, y'all. My name is Ferris Muthana. You find me at Ferris Muthana. Whatever, man. You can find me here every Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific. Good Friends, Better Rivals, live or pre-recorded, as well as today, Friday at 8 p.m. on our entertainment channel. It is the Open Table. Me and Adelia will be talking about fan theories on if they're good bad or they're whatever. Because apparently it's weird never to have a fan theory. Because one of us has never had a fan theory. Is it weird? Is it not weird? Is it the way of life? Is it not the way of life? We'll find out overall today, as well as every Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern, midnight. I got something to say on KSFS Radio. Last week we missed an episode, unfortunately, but next week we're coming back stronger than ever. It's a very special episode next week. You know why it's a special episode, Caleb? You want to know why it's a special episode?
Why is that?
It's my birthday. That's why. It's my birthday.
Oh,
I'm doing my show on my birthday.
Like your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm doing the show.
You hate your birthday.
But, you know, I don't hate my birthday. I just don't celebrate it because I've never celebrated my birthday.
You kind of sound like you hate your birthday.
I don't hate my birthday. I don't hate my birthday. I just never have celebrated my birthday. There's a difference. There's a difference. I've never celebrated my birthday. It's not that not celebrating your birthday does not mean you hate your birthday. I just never celebrated because I just never did. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right, guys. So that's next week. It's Wednesday, November 1st. I got something to say on KSFS Radio. It is the birthday. We have a special episode. We have a special episode coming up, guys. And we may have some guests. So there's that. But on that note, everyone, thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. And be sure to keep your third eye open because it's crazy out here. Prayers up to everyone. All right, everyone. Peace. I gotta find that outro.